Tournament of Champions. That's
Coach,
President Cup this week, isn't it?
It is.
Huh?
Yeah. Coach, do you feel good about this week so far? I mean, you've had a few days of practice now.
Yeah, we've had good practices, even last week with all the setbacks that we had. You know, it was a good week of fundamentals, and this week it's been mostly game planning and putting everything together. I don't know what to expect. You know, we played some pretty good games. We played good at times on both sides of the ball, but we hadn't been consistent. We need to start being more consistent. If not, you know, we're going to be on the short end of the stick. But I like the attitude. That's the main thing. The guys have worked hard. We've got a good game plan in. Now we need to hit on somebody else after 2 weeks and see what we can do.
These guys haven't won a game yet, but sometimes that makes a team even more dangerous.
Especially when you go on the road.
Yes.
You know, and they've got some weapons. They've got a new coaching staff, and they've stuck with their guns. Now they've got a starting quarterback that they're playing every down. They've been alternating, and I guess they've gone with this kid, and they got one of the better running backs, probably the best one we'll see all year long. Big guys, offensive line, very consistent in terms of finding the hole. He's one of the leading rushers in the country, and then defensively, they don't give up a lot of big plays. People have driven the ball on them. So hopefully we can go down and be more consistent. It's going to be more about us than them, I think. It's just we just got to go in and play our game.
And maybe today helps you a little bit because it got heated up here at Nippert Stadium today.
You know, it's been hot the last few days, and it's going to help us. I know what South Florida is like. I spent 10 years there, and it's really not the temperature, it's the humidity, you know, being on the water. So we're ready to go. It's, you know, that won't be a factor because it's a 7 o'clock game kickoff, and it'll be a little bit humid, but it's not anything that we're not used to.
You guys you've played really well at home. On the road, it's been a little bit of a test. How do you get that in their heads of getting on the road, getting in that same routine, and not having it be so different between the two places?
Well, you know, we played Miami of Ohio on the road, and we didn't play that bad. We just weren't consistent. We shot ourselves in the foot on offense. We couldn't get it across the goal line. We went up and down the field and turned the ball over, and penalties, and we did the same thing now at Illinois. I mean, we killed ourselves. We were our own worst enemy. And I think that's the main thing that we've got to focus on is go play our game. Don't worry about where we're playing. You know, it's going to be a big pro stadium. Probably won't be a lot of fans there, you know, having a tough time early. I'm sure they'll have their faithful there, but, you know, we've got to block everything out and go play, and it'll be, I think, probably the only game we'll have on grass all year long. That will be a little bit different for us, but our guys are excited. You know, we're going south, going where a lot of these guys are from. We've got a lot of Florida kids on the team, and again, we can't be any more prepared or focused. Now we just need to go play.
It could be easy to look at them like looking at Miami for young guys and say they're struggling, haven't been very successful, and take them lightly. But that being a team in South Florida, you know there's a lot of talent. You got to get those guys thinking of the fact that they're playing against some guys that can really go.
Oh yeah, this will be a talented team we play. A lot of speed, quickness, used to the environment. You know, I spent a lot of time down there, so you know, they're undefeated in conference play just as we are, and this is what counts. All those preseason games are out of the way. You know, we found out a little bit more what we're about, and they found out what they're about, and we've all been gunning to be ready to go 100% for this opening kickoff of the conference season. So we'll see how we both fare.
Conference season, it's all on the table now, right? Nothing held back.
Nothing held back. You know, we've not done everything probably that we will do in the next 8 weeks. There'll be some things that we worked on that we won't run in this game, but we've got a lot more in than what we've had in the first 4 games. So there's no tomorrow. It's today.
You and your staff new to this team coming in. You've had 4 games now. Where do you feel like you guys are in understanding what you have and how to use it properly now?
You know, in most areas we feel pretty good about knowing our strengths and our limitations. I think that's the big thing. Limitations are what you've got to focus on in terms of how far can you go with a player, how many plays can he play, can you expect him to be a better run blocker, a pass blocker, or a receiver. You know, can you run go routes, or is he more of a possession receiver? We're a lot more understanding now of what we were a month ago, but we'll get a better feeling each week as we go now through this conference play. This is a lot of young guys on this team. I think 13 guys out of the 22, the first time they've ever played in a game here in terms of being a starter. So it's a lot of youth in terms of inexperience, but it's time to grow up. It's time to play and play the best we can.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.